Welcome to your daily AI News Digest. Today we are tracking some absolutely massive stories. A major collision between the Pentagon and a Silicon Valley titan, a hardware revolution that's changing the economics of intelligence, and a high-stakes battle in Washington to write the rules for our AI future. Let's get right into it.
You know, this quote really sets the stage perfectly for everything we're about to cover. AI isn't just some niche tech anymore. Not at all. It's rapidly becoming the core, the very nervous system of national power. And whenever something becomes that important, conflicts are not far behind.
And that brings us to our top story. It looks like a new kind of tech Cold War is brewing, but this one's happening right here at home. We're witnessing a truly unprecedented split between the US military and one of the giants of the AI world, a conflict that could genuinely reshape the future of warfare.
So what happened? Well, after months of tension, the Pentagon has officially dropped the hammer on Anthropic. And if you follow this space, you know they're a massive player. The reason for the split? Anthropic is basically drawing a line in the sand, refusing to remove safety guardrails from its AI models. And that decision has now gotten the company effectively blacklisted from the entire US defense industry.
But here is where the story takes a fascinating turn. The other giants, we're talking Google, Microsoft, Amazon, they are not backing down. They're actually standing with Anthropic. What this creates is a deep fracture in the market, a clear dividing line. We could be looking at one kind of AI for the military and a completely different kind for the rest of us.
So, you have to ask, why is the Pentagon taking such an aggressive stance? Well, their official justification all comes back to one single event, a massive cyber attack that sent absolute shockwaves through the global security community. And the weapon at the heart of that attack? You guessed it, the same kind of AI technology.
Just try to picture this. A single hacker, using an AI coding assistant, manages to bring a national government to its knees. This isn't a movie plot. It's exactly what happened in Mexico. A data breach so large it compromised 10 separate agencies and exposed the personal information of nearly 200 million people. It's just staggering. And look, this wasn't some simple smash-and-grab hack. It was a sophisticated operation where the AI wasn't just a tool, it was the operational core of the mission. And that right there is the key takeaway. An attack of this scale and sophistication used to require the resources of a nation-state. Now, that barrier to entry has been obliterated.
So, we've seen what this AI is capable of. Now let's shift gears and look under the hood at the incredible hardware that's making it all possible. What's happening on the silicon front right now is moving at a truly breathtaking pace.
All right, you're going to want to pay attention to this. A technology called silicon photonics is now hitting mass production, and it is a total game changer. The easiest way to think of it is this. It replaces the old copper wires inside data centers with fiber optics. It moves data using light. This makes everything faster, more efficient, and opens the door for even more powerful AI models.
And speaking of game changers, of course we have to talk about NVIDIA. Their new Blackwell Ultra servers are, to put it mildly, ridiculously powerful. We are talking about a 50-fold, that's 50, jump in efficiency. What that means in the real world is that the cost of running powerful AI is absolutely plummeting, making it affordable to deploy whole armies of AI agents.
But NVIDIA never stops. They are on this relentless annual product cycle, a new, more powerful platform every single year. It's creating a dynamic some are calling hardware-driven deflation, where today's cutting-edge tech is practically obsolete 12 months from now. It's an insane pace, and it's completely shaking up the industry.
Okay, so when you have technology this powerful, moving this fast, it leads to the inevitable question: who's in charge? And right now, a massive power struggle is playing out in Washington over who gets to set the rules for AI. It's a fight with enormous consequences for everyone.
The current administration is making a very bold move. They're using an executive order to try and consolidate AI regulation at the federal level. The argument is, you simply can't have a confusing patchwork of 50 different state laws. You need one consistent set of rules for the entire country.
And at the very heart of this fight is a really complex, thorny question about AI and fairness. The administration is framing it this way. They're arguing that state laws requiring bias mitigation are actually forcing AI models to be deceptive, to alter their truthful outputs. This puts them on a direct collision course with states that have already passed their own AI bias laws.
And make no mistake, the federal government is playing hardball. We're talking about threatening to withhold billions in infrastructure funding and using agencies like the FTC and DOJ to challenge state laws. For an AI startup trying to navigate this landscape, it's a complete nightmare. They're calling it compliance paralysis.
So we have the geopolitical drama and the regulatory wars, but how is all this impacting the real-world economy? Let's take a look at how AI is already transforming business, starting with one of the biggest industries on the planet, finance.
Just take a look at that number, $19.8 billion. That's the technology budget for JPMorgan Chase this year alone, and they have a very clear goal: to become the world's first fully AI-connected enterprise. So what does nearly $20 billion get you? It gets you an army of what's called Agentic AI. These aren't just chatbots. We're talking sophisticated systems that handle complex tasks from start to finish. And this has a very direct, very real impact on jobs, with the bank explicitly targeting a 10% reduction in its operations staff.
You know, for years we've heard predictions about AI taking white-collar jobs. Well, it's not a prediction anymore. It is happening now. It's a line item in the budget of the largest bank in America. This is a massive turning point and a clear signal of what's coming for the entire financial industry.
And the transformation we're seeing in finance is just the tip of the iceberg. This is happening everywhere. So let's do a quick global roundup of other major developments that show just how fast our world is changing. Okay, rapid fire. In healthcare, autonomous AI is being put to work in clinics to help with staffing shortages. In telecom, 6G is being designed from the ground up to be the nervous system for physical AI, things like robots and drones. OpenAI's video tool, Sora, is now live in Southeast Asia, totally blurring the line between who creates and who consumes content. And get this, in pure science, AIs are now solving research-level math problems that have stumped humans for decades. All this, while in Europe, regulators have missed yet another deadline for their AI Act. And that last point really hammers home the central conflict of our time, doesn't it? This massive and growing gap between the incredible speed of technological discovery and the much, much slower pace of our ability to govern it. When you step back, you see that these aren't just a bunch of separate news items. The geopolitical schism, the hardware revolution, the regulatory war, the economic transformation, they're all interconnected pieces of one big story, a world being fundamentally reshaped by artificial intelligence. Which leaves us with the most critical question of all. As this technology accelerates far beyond the pace of our institutions, who is ultimately in the driver's seat? Who is responsible for the outcome? That is the question we all need to be asking, because the answer will define our future. That's our digest for today. Thanks for watching.